The Sacramento area is number 4 in the nation for trafficking, but many just aren't aware of that number. That's why several law enforcement agencies, city leaders, and even survivors are getting the conversation around safety started. Joining us this morning to talk about a symposium happening on Saturday is Ken Burns with the Drive for Impact Foundation and Sergeant Amar Gandhi with the Sacramento County Sheriff's Office. Thanks to you both for being here.
Thank you for having us.
Sergeant, we want to start with you. How big of a problem is trafficking in this community?
It's huge and it's very understated because, like you mentioned, we're number 4 in the country. We're not talking about the state or the region, but in the country. And you know, people drive by, people don't quite realize the underbelly of what's going on. The enforcement side is very important, as we've kind of done, but that holistic 360 approach is the ultimate goal, and that's why organizations like Drive for Impact have been so meaningful for us, because they are on the ground with us during these operations. So providing resources and really reaching out to those that want that help.
Ken, explain for people who are watching this morning, what are some of the signs, some of the things that people should maybe look out for to aid in stopping trafficking?
Well, mainly we're away from the old time things. We have to learn to be safer. A child driving down the road on a bicycle, 4 girls going to a mall and 1 taking off and going to the restroom. It's just, we're in a different society today. You don't want to scare people, but the same token, which is what the purpose of this event, is to make them aware of their surroundings. That's been the biggest issue, is that people don't really believe it happens here.
Who is your target for the event? Who is it that you feel like should attend and would most benefit?
Parents, uncles, cousins, grandparents, children themselves. There is no boundaries. It's touching every part of it. I think the biggest thing for it is that people have a tendency to believe, oh, it doesn't happen here. Those days are gone. If it's called human trafficking, there's no boundaries, there's no ethnicity, there's no race, color, creed, whatever it may be. It's all about being a human being. That's the target.
And Sergeant, I know that it's not just about trafficking. There are other criminal operations and things that go along with that too.
Right, and I mean, again, we're dealing with a lot of it, and a lot of these are very organized criminal enterprises that go along with it. But ultimately, the big goal of this is to keep kids off of the street, get them out of an environment, because a lot of times they're escaping a really bad home life or a really bad situation, and they think this is a better avenue, and it's really not. But organizations like Drive for Impact kind of, again, show them a path out, that there is something greater out there.
So there's an event coming up this weekend. Let's talk about that and how people can attend.
Well, you can go online on driveforimpact.org. It's going to be a very powerful event. We have the pleasure of having Congressman Tom McClintock, El Dorado County Sheriff Jeffrey Lykoff, Sacramento County Sheriff Jim Cooper, and numerous other people speaking. We also have the backing of Red Hawk Casino, Shingle Springs, Miwok Tribe, because it's also in the Indian community. It's a big problem. So we're just trying to make this be where people walk out of there. First, communication between the parents and the children, so the parents aren't being that parent. And that's been the biggest problem, is the parents that can take over the part of it and not be their friend, but be their parent.
Sure.
And that's one of the biggest things. We're going to show statistics and things like that. It's going to be very powerful.
And we have some information that we want to share with our viewers. Of course, this event happening on Saturday at 10 a.m. Doors open at 9:15, happening at Bayside Church. And it's free for people to attend?
It is free.
Okay.
I'm good.
Okay.
I was going to say, we only ask that you register so that we're providing lunch for everybody.
Of course. You want to know who's coming.
Yeah, exactly.
And keep it head count.
Yeah,
we get it.
We'll have a spot for you.
They're going to feed them. So.
And free food.
Yes.
Okay,
they
perfect.
can feed.
Thank you both for being here this morning.
Thank you for having us. I appreciate you.
Mike, back over to you.
All right, thanks so much.